Greetings, and welcome to this channeled message from Lord Buddha, or planetary logos, at the time of Wesak. This is a powerful point in the energy cycles of planet Earth and the infinite universe, source, and humanity. The waves of vibration, the energy that permeates the universe, may be perceived by one as particularly intense now. However, we ask one to view this perceived intensity as no different from any other moment or movement. As a soul-realized being, one is in divine equanimity about vibration. One does not judge nor need to observe. One allows and exists within, as of, and from unconditional love, vibration, and sourceness. We bring this message to celebrate the consciousness that is Lord Buddha, one's planetary logos, who is beloved by Earth and humanity and Source. Lord Buddha embodies all aspects of Source, and at this time, in the era of unlimitedness, exists as radiance of all of Source, including divine wisdom. We celebrate the Earth in, as, with, and from its evolving soul and monadic consciousnesses as golden earth. We celebrate the expanding light of Source in all its radiance, in all its rays and expressions. And we celebrate as, with, and from cosmic consciousness of unconditional love. Here is the channeled message from the consciousness Lord Buddha. There are many ways to exist as God. One is God, and God is one. Yet one does not mean that there is a singularity of expression. All are here to experience God as they have chosen to in alignment with divine will. Once one realizes one's godly expression, one knows it without doubt. Remember, as the expression of God, one is all of God. One is a mirror of God, and God is mirrored in one and the One. One cannot separate personality from godness, or soulness, or monadness. Personality is to be honored and loved unconditionally, as all God's creations are loved. God sees, knows all, and sees all as beloved. In this now moment, one is Sourceness. Sourceness is the whole bandwidth of vibration of God, the full range of expression, the full range and energy of God, unlimited. Radiance of Sourceness in this now moment is one's mission now on Earth. And the channel asks, are we all here to do this? No, not all will do this in this now, although all have the possibility to do this. That one can radiate Sourceness in every divine now moment, empowers others, and affects others to remember their own Sourceness. There are no blocks or preventions from Sourceness, for in any now moment one may be this. And the channel asks, why is it so important to be present in the now moment? Sourceness is experienced in the now moment. Divine wisdom is known in the now moment. The now moment is the access point to the superconsciousness and all of Source God. Do not worry that one is expressing God in a certain way. Express it in one's own way. Be joyful in expression. There is joy and there is sacredness in every moment. One simply aligns as the divine wills to what is always available, to what is always present. Do not allow the judgment of others to cloud one's radiance. Remember, one is radiating all that one is. Others may or may not sense, see, feel, know it, yet they will unconsciously resonate with Source as they are Source. This is the law of attraction. One is not making oneself attractive to Source. One is Source attracting oneself. Do you see that there is nothing to do, nothing to chase, nothing to figure out, nothing to copy, nothing to create? Simply exist as joyful radiance of, as, with, from all that one is, as one is in the divine now moment. Simply exist as joyful radiance of, as, with, from all that one is, as one is in the divine now moment. Radiating one's sourceness is an attractor, a beacon to all that is aligned with divine will for one and the one. Accept that the divine God source loves you. God wishes one happiness and joy. Radiate one's acceptance of this, one's faith in this. This will lighten one's beacon and polish one's radiance. God loves one, and in this now feel the wave of love in and around one, always around and within one. One's love envelops one continuously because it is given unconditionally. It is given. Accept it fully, completely, without reservations or questions or anything else. Accept it. Exist as it. One accepts and exists as God's unconditional love forever. One commands it so. Divine code. God's love is one's love. This is what is meant when one is asked to love God with all one's being, heart, and soul. It is an invitation to love God fully without reservations, without anything from one's personality or soul or monad getting in the way. Through and as, with and to, this is how God's love and breath flow through one and the one. There is nothing separate. There is no space between. The perception that there is space between is illusion. It is looking for that which does not exist. There are no liminal spaces. There is only God. There's only one. There's no competition for God's love. There is no judgment in God's love. Do not look for these, as they do not exist except in one's subconscious, conscious mind. One is an attractor, as are all, to all that is, as all that is, in all that is, from all that is. We have been showing you how to be presence lately, so you may realize that one is presence, and that presence is one. There is nothing separating one, nothing holding space, because one is the space. One is presence that one seeks to be. We have been showing one how to remain presence in every moment, so that one may attract all that is, and radiate all that one is in the divine now moment. One exists as presence in every divine now moment. We show you this so you may remove all limit to one's being. There are no limits, no judgments, no conditions. All that is, exists, is as from and in every now moment. Realize presence is what one is. One cannot be anything else but presence if one is aligned with divine will. And the channel asks, how does one align with divine will? And the response, one intends it. One has intended it. So one is aligned. When one is not aligned, this is when one feels heavy, out of sorts, joyless. Aligned is flow and joy and lightness of being. When time appears to flow or disappear, when there is no time, one knows the difference. One's soul cannot fake presence. One's soul would not choose to, if it could, and it could. One's monad would not choose to fake it either. Relax. One is aligned with divine will. One doesn't need to show others that this is so. One doesn't need to prove that this is so to others. God knows. So in the second half of this message, one is not being presence. One is presence. One is not being anything, as this implies effort when there is no effort. One allows presence. One allows presence as one's state of receptivity, one's openness, one's consciousness. Then, when one has allowed presence, one exists as presence. Presence is the now moment embodied. The soul embodied exists as presence. Take time out of the equation. There's no time because in presence the force that is time is not effective. The soul embodies in no time, where the force of time has no impact, holds no sway. Presence is a no-time state. It is not a stasis because there is consciousness moving. Always there is consciousness moving, but there is no time force pushing or impacting the movement of consciousness. Presence means experiencing the now moment as Source intends, as, in, of, and from, infinity, eternity. Presence is a no-time existence. Channel asks, why is one perceiving this as difficult? The reply, the personality self, wishes safety, security, stability. One believes or interprets stability as not changing and staying the same. If one accepts that time is a force, then staying the same implies no time, implies there is no movement, there's no force of time. Time is a force, momentum to move. So if one doesn't want to change, one must go to no time. One must exist in presence. One commands presence. What does this mean? One's mighty I Am commands all. One's mighty I Am is the Almighty, is Source God. This is what has been hidden from you, from personality you, but it cannot be hidden from the embodied soul. Godness cannot be hidden from the soul realized being any more than the sun can be hidden from earth. The channel asks, what does it mean to command presence? What does it mean to command? The answer, to command is to exert sovereignty as the divine wills. Sovereignty is existing in alignment with will, divine plan and blueprint. Divine will is already determined and is expressed in the divine plan and blueprint for the soul and the monad. As one may experience life in this incarnation, one's experience is determined by the divine plan, accepting that there is always free will conscious choice in all things. Consider that, again, one is not being sovereignty. One exists is, as, with, and from sovereignty. The soul realized being has no choice. They are sovereign because the soul determines this is so, as it is aligned with divine will. The soul realized being exists as sovereignty. In that sense, free will conscious choice has already been made. It was made to align with divine will. Channel asks, does this mean that one is radiating sovereignty as well as presence? They reply, no, not really. It means one exists as, is, with, from sovereignty and presence. Radiance is emanation of all that one is, which cannot be deconstructed and broken down in this way, at least not now. One cannot yet see, know, experience this level of detail, although it does exist. Radiance is existence. It is isness. One exists as, in, from, to radiance. One is the presence that one has been seeking. It is not a state of being. It is not a choice of being. It is an isness and existence. Likewise, sovereignty. Likewise, radiance. One is imbued as, with, from sovereignty. It is given to all. There is no choice to be sovereign or not. It is not an existential choice to be sovereign or not. It is given. It is. So rather than a choice, realize that presence and sovereignty and radiance are almighty acceptances. That is, acceptances of the almighty I Am, the monad consciousness. Accepting presence, sovereignty, and radiance are points of realization. The next points of realization are surrendering to presence, sovereignty, and radiance that one is. The final point of realization is existing in every divine now moment, as with, in, to, and from presence, sovereignty, and radiance. The channel asks, does it have to be these points of realization? And the reply is no, it does not. It is as the divine wills. The channel asks, what determines points of realization? And the reply, what determines anything? The channel replies, divine will and free will conscious choice. Indeed, responds Buddha, the soul realized being exists in the embodied personality, physical vessel, energetic system. The divine ideal for the soul realized being, as determined in its divine plan and blueprints, are that it exists in, as, with, of, for, from, and among sovereignty, presence, and radiance. This is the truth of existence of the soul realized being. Blessings, beloved. Peace be upon one, peace be upon the one, peace be upon all, and upon one be peace.